Thank you, Aaron. Lauren, thank you.
Turn the computer that way.
All right, sorry for that interruption. So we had Rocky.
You want to redo it so they can hear it?
Yeah, so that's a good
You get to
idea.
vote, right?
Yes. Yeah, so we've got to start the vote over.
Okay, so we're gonna proceed with a vote for community representative for the Peirce LSC. The first candidate that we're gonna put through is Julie Jungle. So we're gonna start with CC.
So yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Raki,
Yes.
Nicole,
Yes.
Lamont,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Oliver,
No.
Sonia,
No.
Bridget,
No.
Megan,
No.
Amy,
No.
Matthew, no.
So it's like 4 to 6?
No, just.
I did something wrong.
It was 5 yes, 6 no's.
Four.
There we go. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5.
okay, sorry.
So that was for Julie. That's correct.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6.
So
Oh, yeah, 6. 5.
now going on with Stephanie Desposito. CC,
No.
Raki,
No. I guess I have a question. So we need, is it majority or like half?
it's simple majority, right?
Okay.
So we don't have a simple majority right now for Julie. Well, we've got a majority against.
6 no, 5 yes.
So it's down, we've still got Stephanie and Anthony.
That's right.
So Julie's a no, like regardless of what happens with the others at this point.
Correct.
So then I can like change mine. So now I'm going, okay. Wait, so we can vote now, Anthony or Stephanie?
Yes.
Yeah, so like basically Julie's out and now we're voting Anthony or Stephanie. Okay,
That's correct.
Can I change my vote? Yeah,
Again,
we're on to Stephanie, right?
we are on to Stephanie now.
Okay, then yes, you need a second
No, right.
before we vote.
So, like to make a motion to go through the vote for Stephanie Desposito. Okay? CC,
Yes.
this is for Stephanie. Raki,
No.
Nicole,
Yes.
Lamont,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Sonia,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Matthew, yes. So with that vote,
That's 1 to 10.
so I think we have now a new parent, community representative, Stephanie Desposito. We'd like to thank all 3 of them, and I will make sure and send an email, and then we'll get them situated. The interesting thing is they're jumping right in. All right, next item, principal candidate interview questions. So we went through the questions that we gathered from the community, from the teachers and staff, and we agreed on a set of questions that we're going to use for this purpose. So I would like to make a motion to approve the set of questions that are going to be used for the first round of interviews.
Second.
Any discussion
We discussed.
in addition
the last
to what
2
we already
hours.
discussed? All right. All in favor? Everyone, thank you. The motion passes. We have a couple more items here. So we went ahead and voted for community rep. Number 2, Oliver, we had a conversation, or we wanted to talk about anti-bullying, and I know that you have been doing a lot of work on that piece. The idea was to show, or to do a quick presentation as a starting point. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I can do it very quick.
To get going.
We can get this.
Yeah.
Would you like me to cook it? I'm gonna acquire some extension cords.
It's a loading.
Here, while that is firing, I can just kind of introduce and start. So obviously last year we saw, a lot of incidents. We heard that we had a lot of issues in the school when it comes to bullying, and obviously we're starting to hear it this year, this early into the school season. And we've got some emails, and then obviously Cece just on her kind of like the student report. So us as LSE, we felt like we need to do something about this. And so here we are kind of trying to find some solution to bullying or create some sort of an anti-bullying. So what we're creating right now, or my proposal is a organization which has an extension of the LSE. We're calling it ABC at Peirce, which stands for Anti-Bullying Club at Peirce. And the main idea behind it is to serve as a prevention as well as intervention group. So the purpose of this group will be, as I said, extension of the LSE as a subcommittee with a goal of prevention first, and then also support and create intervention for students and parents affected by bullying. ABC at Peirce will serve as a bridge between students and parents on one side and Peirce and CPS on the other. We will be also gathering reports, bullying reports and data from the school and present it on the LSE meetings. Now, the goal here is to create a bully-free environment for all students at Peirce, foster a safe and inclusive community, and then promote awareness through education and engagement, as well as collaborate with parents, staff, and administration for prevention. Now, if we look at how CPS defines bullying, basically any physical or verbal act, including communications made in a written or electronically, directly towards a student or students that meets all of the following criteria, where there is an imbalance of power, severe and pervasive intent was to cause harm, and the behavior has a detrimental effect on targeted student. I know these are pretty black and white, but obviously in some of these instances there might be some gray areas, and that's where we come in and trying to address if any needed support to some of these students or parents that are facing this. So the first point of our group or this club will be prevention. So there's two types of prevention we can do. One is at school, and for this, my suggestion is adding anti-bullying posters in all of our classrooms, possibly having a quarterly, and this we will work with administration, quarterly anti-bullying classroom education series from teachers and staff to students. So basically reinforce it and teach students to understand anti-bullying and then be against it. And then finally, celebrate an anti-bullying week, which is Monday, November 10th to Friday, November 14th. One of the thoughts here is maybe purchasing some sort of anti-bullying merchandise for students and staff, maybe one of those like a rubber wristbands where we'll kind of carry the message and share with students and staff. The other prevention is at home. On this front, we will be sharing reading and media materials to parents via the Peirce weekly communication. This includes books, suggestions of books, articles, podcasts, TED Talks, and so on. We can have guest speakers like we did have last year. And also, parents are welcome or encouraged to join ABC at Peirce. The second part of this organization will be intervention. Obviously, we like to keep it at prevention and not to happen, but things will happen, obviously. And if they do happen, we do see bullying. How do we intervene? How do we treat it? One is by understanding the current bullying policy requirements, as well as the timeline. I'm going to go quickly through the timeline. So first will be notifying the school administration of any bullying incidents. This is usually done by the parent, which will be filing an anti-bullying report or bullying report, or by any teachers or staff member that have witnessed any of this. Then Peirce will email a notification or an acknowledgement of bullying allegations to the parent. This happens day one. The next step is the school will go into investigation involving the students and the parent. This will include interviews, observations, gathering evidence. This typically happens between day 2 and day 9. If there is need for a longer time, also obviously that's available, but usually would happen between day 2 and 9. In the meantime, there is some safety planning, interim supportive measures, as we don't want to see, while decision is being made, we don't want bullying to continue to happen. And then finally, at day 10, an outcome determination is sent to the parent via an email. Parents will have an opportunity to appeal at the Equal Opportunity Compliance Office, or the EOCO, within the next 15 days. And then the final step is creating an ongoing intervention safety plan and teachings based on the needs. At any time, parents and students can involve us or can involve Anti-Bullying Club at Peirce for additional support throughout the process. Below you see on the slide, I have included some useful contacts, such as the Equal Opportunity Compliance Office, Ben McKay, which is Director of Restorative Practices and Student Discipline Support, as well as Mike Aguilar-Dale, who is the Manager of Student Discipline Support. So the last slide that I have here is the current ABC Peirce members are me, myself, and then Sonia Brown sitting next to me as LSC representative. But I do want to open it and encourage anybody interested in being part of this to join us. How can you join? There's my phone number there, as well as we have an email address, or feel free to talk to any of the LSC members and they can point you to the right direction. Any questions, comments, suggestions? I'm open.
And one for you. Yes. There's the whole legal framework and what's allowed and not allowed. So sure. I want to try to recruit a staff member that's just a guide to, this is within policy, this is outside of policy, and things like. So everyone who's in there understands, you don't disclose a student's name, so like just a guide. So I hope that the school can find a good staff member that can provide that part of it.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for this work, Oliver. This is really great. And to Sonia, I appreciate you both bringing this issue to the LSC and putting this structure in place to make sure that it's the forefront of the work that we're doing. It's amazing. My question for you is about the structure of the club or committee. Are you asking LSC to make this a subcommittee of the LSC? If so, we need to vote to put it in our bylaws. And if you want this to be a subcommittee of the LSC, it's subject to the Open Meetings Act, which means every time you have quorum of your members, you have to publish your agenda 2 days in advance, have an open, have an open meeting where everybody's welcome, have public participation. And public meetings, of course, are the last place for any sort of confidential conversation that's naming students or teachers. So I don't know if you thought that through, but that's kind of what it would mean to be a subcommittee of the LSC, which the pro of it is that's the, accountability side for, in the budget, principal accountability, budget, resources. But the challenges are like all those Open Meeting Act hurdles. So I don't know if you guys are ready to make that ask today or what you're thinking of that.
Yeah, we will bring that on the next meeting, so we'll kind of discuss it and figure out what's the best way to approach this.
Okay.
I don't have any questions, but also just a statement of gratitude, especially on the preventative measures. I think that's so powerful, and I'm excited to see what this work, how it evolves. Maybe we can get monthly updates regularly.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much. Next item. We put in here disaggregated tardy data. I think this is something that we were trying to get on an ongoing basis. So, Chris, thank you for taking that on along with all the other things.
We are gathered, working with Ben McKay. We were able to locate the information from last year, and we actually have the past 3 years. So starting in school year 2022 to 2023, school year 2023 to 2024, and school year 2024 and 2025. I will definitely give, I think the racial equity group, and Nicole, I think your group asked for it, information, so I can give you these 2 hard copies and happy to forward Ben's email to you. But when the school year went on throughout and why there was an alarming call, we started August was 1.9. September of this year was 2.5. September of last year was 2.5. October was 3.1% of the population, November 3.1, December 4.1, January 3.8, February 4.2, March 4.2, April 4.4, in May jumped to 5.7, and in June it was at 5.4 of the days. So the nice information here is you're given 3 years for data, and we'll provide it for the next principal as well. Just to give you an idea, 5.7 in May and 5.4 was roughly close to 60 tardies given out every day. The information was also divided by race, by priority group being STLS, IEPs, and then the other is also obviously by month at what I just stated, and then he has nice graphs here. What we call like doubling up, what is it, students temporary, yeah.
Temporary what?
Students living in temporary situations.
Okay.
And then the other is we've got it, a nice graph in regards to tardy rate last year of which grade levels from pre-K through 8th grade, and then tardy rate by demographic, so race and ethnicity. So I am happy to give it to you guys because I know that you wanted to utilize some of this information, and then as well provide it for the next administrator. Anybody else want a copy?
Can we just put that in the folder so that people can have access to it? Is it possible?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Is it something that we can put in the, like, along with the minutes in the drive?
Sure.
That doesn't, there's no, like.
No, it's no
identifiable-
identifier at all, just by, that.
I can just take a screenshot of it and upload it.
Oh, thank
Send
you.
it to everybody? Rafi, you send it to all of us?
Yeah. I'll put it
Okay,
in the
great,
minutes,
thanks.
and I'll send it to you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, moving on. One item here, agree on protocols for public participation. I think this kind of came up from Lamont last time when we were trying to make sure that we kept the meeting participation, public participation reasonable in terms of the length, total length and access, and also for each participant, making sure that the process was fair and equitable to everyone. So I don't know if people have particular thoughts about that. Lamont, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think you have some pretty simple ways for us to kind of go through or address that and make sure that the process is clear in terms of like how many minutes, like how much time do we want, like, you know, so what we have done in the past is, okay, so we said 10 minutes, each person can have up to 2 minutes. Once the 2 minutes come through, we can decide as a group or make a motion to extend that, the member or the participant's comments by another 2 minutes. And box it, you know, so 2 minutes renewable once, and then move on to the next participant. So I don't know if there's anything else, any additional things that we think as a group we could do to help with that process. That's number one. I'm sorry. Number two, we do have the Peirce LSC inbox, and as you know, it takes sometimes a little bit more than 2 minutes to read some of the statements that I've made. So the request, or the ask is that those emails, to the extent they come through, be shared with the LSC, but not read, to help us just continue on with the business of the LSC. We will make sure that those emails are part of the minutes, that folks are aware of them, but we will not be reading them going forward. To the extent there's an urgent or an urgency or an emergency that comes through to the inbox, then, you know, obviously there may be some things here, but in terms of the types of emails that come through or the communications, the idea is to send them or forward those communications to the LSC as part of the minutes. So, sorry, I talked a lot here, but.
Yeah, I agree with those points, especially removing email from being read during our sessions, and also boxing in the public comment, especially given current issues that we've been having to discuss and cover. I think if you cannot convey what you need to say in 4 minutes, then you need a different game plan.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Good.
I agree with it, not reading the public, the emails that come through.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, so we can move on to the next item. So do we need to make that part of the bylaws?
So, the bylaws have the 10-minute public comment period for 2 minutes a person, but it doesn't say anything about reading emails or not reading emails, so I don't think we need to like add that or remove it.
Got it.
Do we want to vote, or I think maybe it's just like the chair's discretion, you know, and so we're just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we need.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Just to kind of like bring that more under control. Okay, next item, principal selection discussion items. So a quick recap. Thank you all for your patience. We went in there and under closed session to again talk through the different questions that we're locking in for the first round of interviews. The next item here is timeline review, discussion, and approval. I don't know that we need to go into those details. I think the question here for the LSC is, as we look through that process, or the timeline as currently stated or approved includes a first round of interviews followed by on-campus visits and then a forum. Based on several conversations that we've had, as well as guidance and additional conversations with the network and folks that have helped with this process, we are there. It might come to the point where we will need a second round of interviews. So I think I don't think that we need to kind of iron that out now or today, for a variety of reasons, one of them being it's fairly late. But I think what I'd like us to have a conversation on as a group, and come to a conclusion on is what we want to do. Do we agree that a second round would be necessary, and then, come up with a date, and then, the format?
I think the outcome of our interviews this Saturday is gonna inform that significantly. We could have 3 absolutely amazing interviews and not be able to make any decisions and say we want to talk some more. We could have 1 absolutely clear great candidate and 2 mediocre candidates, or we could have just 3 bomb interviews. So I think we're gonna have to reset afterwards, and it might just be a reset that says everything's on track, or it might say we need to adjust. But I think what we need to do is just put on the calendar, maybe because it's 10 o'clock here, maybe we already have it on the calendar, is after this Saturday, we need to have a special meeting on either confirming next steps, adjusting next steps, adjusting candidates, whatever that is. And I can't remember if we've already got a special meeting on the calendar.
We don't. So I think on Saturday, again, when we go through the interview process and we sort of regroup, we can already sort of have that in mind. And so if people can come with perhaps a couple of days in mind for a special meeting, so that we can, if necessary, to go through that. And then at that point in time, we can, again, adjust the timeline, make sure that things sort of make sense in terms of the progression of the chronology. Okay. Next item. So we spent a bit of time here going through the different questions from the community, parents, and staff, and came up with what's that? And students.
Oh yeah, we got some great student questions.
And came up with a total of a number of questions. I think we settled on 11 questions that go through the different topics and types of the items that, as the community, here within Peirce, thought were important to ask. So it's a mix of questions based on some of the topics that have come up, and I think we have a really good first set of questions. It's ambitious, right? Given the time and all of that, but I think that is a pretty good set of questions. So with that, so we cannot obviously share them here, but the idea, so 2 things. Number 1, I'd like to make a motion to vote to approve the 11 questions to be asked on Saturday for the first round of interviews.
Second.
Right. All in favor? Thank you. So the way we will do this is dedicated members of the LSC will be asking those questions of the candidates for each round, or for each candidate coming in. The second item is who will be in the room. So that was the conversation that we had. We had several ideas, and, from, that span the gamut, if you will. And so what we would like to do is similar to the spirit of the original principal selection committee, also have the people in the room will include this body of the LSC, including as well as the members of the principal selection committee who were present during the review of the resumes on the staff side. And then the same representatives on the parent groups as well. There's a slight tweak there in that on the parent side, some parents or some members of the parent groups may not be the same as those who were present during the resume review. That would be the only difference between what we had for resume review versus the interviews. So we need a vote to approve this interview format. And so I'd like to make a motion to approve the interview format or the interview participants to include the LSC members along with the members of the Peirce staff that were present during the resume review. So there's a total of 6, along with 6 representatives from the parent groups, which may include different parents than were there originally. So it's a long way to, it's a long motion. So 6 plus 6.
Spent a lot of time talking about it, so I think I think everyone knows what we're voting on.
Second.
Sorry, the parent group part is not accurate.
Okay.
6 parents from the working group plus LSC interview cohort. Sorry, that's
There you go.
long-winded too, but that's the most brief way that I.
That sounds good. Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right. Any other items that folks would like to discuss or bring up for our upcoming meeting?
Sorry, not about this, but I have a question for Ms. Munns about it says on the graph of sorry, can you see that? The party rate by priority group, it says FRL, what does that stand for?
I don't know, I need to get clarification
Well,
from,
okay, because Rocky looked it up and it said free
Individuals lunch.
but don't we all have free lunch?
okay, so this is based on your
Family income?
family income form. So yes, all students get free breakfast and lunch, and then that's a way that, formula that the federal government or state give funds to schools accordingly.
Okay.
Yes, speaking of school lunch, if you didn't see the news today, they're asking for increased pay, so I wanted to see what the Peirce administration is, how they're gonna handle that.
I'm sorry. Increase pay, I'm sorry. I didn't-
Yeah, the lunch providers, like, lunch services are asking for increased pay, so it might impact current lunch scheduling here. Or
That's
staff.
be on an agenda for next meeting.
Okay. The lunch staff, the increase. Got it? Anything else? All right, we can do a second round of public participation. Roberto, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I just want to elevate, I'd like to take this moment just to elevate the student representatives' reports which raise concerns about targeting detention policies, restorative practices, bathroom policies, and the lunch policy. In my experience as an advocate for student voice and proud parent of a CPS graduate, sometimes student voice gets lost among the adults. And so I want to make sure that the students at the school are being represented and that their concerns are being addressed. So, as an observer, without any additional information, response, or someone to fully present on the concerns that the student raised at this LSC and how it aligns with the CPS restorative practices or the student code of conduct, the tardy and detention policy as well as the bathroom policy seems punitive and not restorative. So, in that same vein, I encourage, it seems like there might be an issue with the lunch policy. And I don't know if there's a lunch policy for the early grades, the primary grades and middle school. So if there is a lunch policy, I think that would be important to communicate that with the community, with the school community. So my emphasis is I encourage this LSC and the administrator in charge to address the concerns that the student raised at today's LSC for next LSC in October. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item, announcements, comments.
Go ahead and do it.
I'd like to remind everyone that in early January, possibly in February, there's going to be the Argyle Lunar Year Parade, and we would like to have a float. We really appreciate everybody's participation, and we'll provide more details as they become available. Thank you all for hanging in there. We'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Thanks, everyone.